Welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. It's time for part 2 of our season preview. In part 1, we've established exactly who's going to win the Premier League, so make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it already. This part's going to be a little bit more fun, and what I really want to know, if you take away Swansea from the equation, because we're all buzzing to get back to the bridge for that game, what game are you most looking forward to?
Well, it's not on the fixture list at the minute, but Champions League quarter-final, Chelsea-Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, Mourinho v Benitez. I can't wait. It's definitely going to happen, and it's written in the stars, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I would love, do you know, it's such a dream to watch. Imagine watching Chelsea play in the Bernabeu.
Yeah. We've never done it. It's the one place we haven't been.
You're right, we haven't. But that's not to say that we haven't beaten Real Madrid in a European final. So don't let anybody give you that. Yeah, exactly. 71. Don't let anybody give you that no history rubbish. But yeah, going to the Bernabeu. Do you know, it's something that I'm actually, there's not much I'm envious of Arsenal fans for. But my cousin is a cabbie in London, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he loves to talk about, he went to the Bernabeu, it's got to be about 10 years ago now, and Arsenal won 1-0. Henry sort of ran the length of the pitch and scored. And he loves to give me that. Have you seen your team win in the Bernabeu? And it's a painful answer that it's no. I would love to do it.
Have you seen the team win the Champions League?
No, absolutely. Don't worry, don't think I don't. Yeah, I'll give him a load of stick, and then I'll.
You've got to let him have something, haven't you?
But yeah, you're right. To win in the Bernabeu, to watch your team win in the Bernabeu, I think must be the sort of the zenith of a football supporter. I don't think life as a football fan can get much better than beating Real Madrid on their own turf. It's such a monument, so it's such a celebration of football, the Bernabeu, isn't it?
It's really,
so
biggest club in the world.
What about you? What game are you most buzzing for?
Just thinking about it now, slightly less glamorous maybe than Charlie's tie, but I'm quite looking forward to Chelsea away at Watford.
Watford, Madrid, equally glamorous. Twins. I think Watford's actually twins with Real Madrid.
Swings and roundabouts, yeah.
It's an easier trip, definitely.
It's a much easier trip, yeah. I've got a lot of mates that are Watford fans. They've come up this year. I'm going to have a load of mates down there to take the mickey out of after the game.
And it's a great away end. They give you the whole behind the goal there, and we've had some really good celebrations there. Do you remember when Kalu got one late?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, Vicarage Road. It's a good little stadium, and it's purely a selfish reason because I just want to take the mick out of my mates when we fresh them, really.
No, I completely agree. And do you know what I'm really looking forward to? Aside from Charlie's imaginary fixture, which is filling me with absolute enthusiasm right now, in fact. But I can't get enough of going to Goodison Park. I think Everton away. Everton. I think Goodison Park is probably the best stadium in the league. I love going there.
It's a proper real football
stadium. Yeah. Take away. I'm not interested in your sanitised Emirates or whatever. Yeah. Give me Goodison Park. Give me the wooden seats. Give me the slightly restricted view. Yeah. And I cannot wait. We had such a great game there last year. And it was actually the day, that game, when Ramirez scored a wonderful goal and he sort of stretched, that I decided we were going to win the league.
And you were right.
And I was right. I suppose what else is an interesting point? What player do you think is going to be our player of the year? What do you reckon, Charlie?
Well, I think Eden Hazard would be an obvious answer, but I think the player that, when we play well, and you're in the pub afterwards, and everyone says, without question, Matic always plays well. Whenever we play well, Matic plays well. So I'm going to say Nemanja Matic. If we are, especially if we're going to win the Champions League, or if we're going to go the distance in the Champions League, we're going to need him in the latter stages. We're going to need him in all the biggest games. He's, I'm a big fan of Fabregas, but I feel like sometimes he goes missing a little bit. Don't think Matic very rarely goes missing, and I think I consider him to kind of be the fulcrum of the side.
Yeah, he's a steady Eddie, really, isn't he? Like, you feel quite safe in the team, knowing that he's there, sort of shoring up all those little, lost balls in and around the edge of the box. I think he gives the defenders a bit of comfort, knowing that he's always there to chip in. So yeah, good shout. I think for me, I'd like to see Fabregas player of the season, because fast forward a year's time, if he does get crowned player of the season, it means that he's been instrumental in that midfield. He's been setting up the goals. He's been pulling all the strings,
scoring the goals as well,
and scoring the goals. And that's why we got him. And so I'm really hoping. I mean, we saw in the first half of last season what a difference he made to that midfield.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you, Charlie. He did go missing at times, especially in the latter half of the year. But if he can produce that kind of form over the length of the season, then I will be well happy.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah. I think, briefly, I think these two are fantastic answers, actually. I think if those two midfield players have a good season, Chelsea will have a good season. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
But equally, I would love to see John Terry crowned Chelsea's player of the season again.
He deserved it last year, I
think. He deserved it last year, I think. And for that reason, I would absolutely love it if he could go another season playing all the games like he did last season.
Oh, definitely.
Every minute of every game of the team that wins the league. That is an absolute dream.
Yeah. On the other end of the thing, which player are you hoping kind of surprises you? Steps in, maybe wasn't the biggest player for us last year, steps in and becomes a decent part of the squad?
Well, that's a really good question. The player who I think I'd love to see step up, I think he's got. I've been such a big fan of his, and I've got a lot of grief from our friends who are kind enough to watch these videos. They've given me a lot of grief over this one. But I think that Oscar is a magnificent football player. Yeah. And I just think that on his day, he's unplayable. I think he's silk. I love watching him play. He's so fluid. I think some of the goals he scored have been some of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think quality. if he can get just a level of consistency, if he can step up to just to being a whisper of the player that I know he can be, then he's going to be marvellous. He's going to be. I really rate him so highly. I'm delighted that he stayed with Chelsea. I was upset when I thought he was going to Juventus. So if Oscar can discover his form, like just think of some of the goals that he's scored. He's such a
goal against QPR last year.
The goal against QPR, the goal against Juventus, the goal against Crystal Palace. He's so good. So I would love to see him step up, and it wouldn't surprise me because I've been a massive advocate of his and have made myself look very stupid on many occasions. But I would love to see him really discover some form. Yeah,
he's pure class, really. On his day, he's absolute class, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'd love to see him surprise some people. What about you? Anyone you think can step up?
Step up? Well, I think judging on the pre-season tour performances, I'm actually, whether he stays around long enough is yet to be seen, but I might plump for someone like Victor Moses knocking on the door. I know he's not going to be a regular starting, first name on a team sheet kind of a guy, but I think that if anyone's going to surprise us, it could be him because make no marks about it.
Already, hasn't he, with that form in America?
He surprised the hell out of us in America, and if he can continue doing that, being the one of, if not the best player on the pitch, then I hope that he gets his chance. A good little run in some cups, and maybe get him involved in some of the less glamorous ties, and maybe he can make that step up. So, I'm going to vote for Victor Moses.
I completely agree with that. I think it's a massive year for Oscar. It's the first summer he's had off, which is a big thing for him. I think Mourinho is a fan of Victor Moses. It's just one of those players that, you're right, it's not going to be in the first team straight away. For me, we say it all the time, I'd like to see a few more youngsters get some games. We've just seen Solanke go out on loan, which I found quite disappointing. I thought he might have got some time here and there in the Capital One Cup games. I think I'd definitely like to see Loftus-Cheek involved in some of those kind of lower profile games. Maybe Nathan Ake hasn't gone on loan yet. So those are the kind of players that I'd like to see, make a bit more of an impression this year. I mean, I thought it was good the time they got last year, but I think Loftus-Cheek I'd like to see play 10, 15 games.
Blood the youngsters a bit more.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be nice. Do you know what I'd like to know from you two? What team are you most looking forward to turning over?
For me, it's got to be Liverpool. I hate Liverpool, and I always love beating them. So home and away, Liverpool all day long.
It's only one Tottenham, whole time.
Arsenal, every time. Once a week would do me. Just putting one on them. Yeah, once a week. But yeah, that would certainly suit me.
Yeah, I'd happily beat either of those two. By the way, it's not just Liverpool. Right. Yeah, I've got something down here. Who do you boys think is going down? Relegation.
You're not going to like it. They're your local boys, I'm afraid. Well, they're your mates.
Sorry, lads.
I think Watford are desperate for Troy Deeney to have a season like no other. If Troy Deeney can play as well as you know that he has done in the past, and I think that he's capable. I think he's a natural goal scorer, and when you're a natural goal scorer, you can score anywhere. Sort of, you started doing it in the playground, and that progresses through. Charlie Austin proved it last season. Sort of irrelevant who you're playing against. However, he's up against it.
They're gonna, they've got a tall order, haven't they? Really.
So I'm gonna definitely put Watford on the table. Any disagreement?
No, probably not with that. I'm gonna be slightly disloyal to an ex-Chelsea manager. I really don't think Claudio Ranieri is going to hit the ground running at Leicester. They've had Cambiasso leave, who was a huge part of them staying up, and not only for him on the pitch, but in terms of like the leadership and his experience. I mean, you can't help. We saw it like Drogba.
So Leicester, Watford. You're getting no disagreements from me on Leicester.
I think they did the Great Escape last season. Can they do that 2 years on the bounce without the clientele they've lost over the summer? Without this kind of weirdo Nigel Pearson effect. But I do like Ranieri, so maybe Claudio could do it. But Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, boys.
I suppose, is there anybody else? Is there somebody for the third person to go down? Is there an opportunity for? Could it be not the obvious?
I'm thinking,
rather than Bournemouth, could it be Villa? Could it be Newcastle?
Yeah.
Could it be?
Yeah.
It's Villa all day for me.
I think Villa's squad looks threadbare at the
not the
minute.
man for you.
No, it's not really that Sherwood's not the man. I think it's just their squad. Last year they relied on Benteke so much.
Delph as well, he's gone.
Yeah, they've lost their captain, they've lost their centre forward.
It's looking desperate.
It's all on that Grealish's shoulders now, you know, and I just think they're really going to struggle this year.
He's made a lot of new signings. They haven't been the biggest names, but it'd be interesting to see how they get on. People like Idrissa Galfin, Jordan Amalfi at left back, but you know, I do think Sherwood's got something of a kind of he can G up a team.
Yeah,
but he's the players rather than the manager.
Definitely.
I just don't think this will be there yet.
And what about then? Who is going to be Chelsea's top goal scorer? Who is going to be Chelsea's Golden Boot winner?
I'm going to let one of you say Diego Costa. I'm going to go for Eden Hazard. I think that's the one kind of thing.
I'm actually going to say that. Yeah.
I think.
It's the one flaw in his game, arguably. Yeah. I don't think he has a flaw in his game.
No, I mean, he's... What did he score last year? 12, 15?
12,
yeah.
I think if he... Whether he's allowed to do it in a Mourinho team, if he is that bit more ruthless, takes a few more shots on, you know, drives at the defence that bit more, I think, you know, that's almost the only thing separating him between him and...
Ronaldo and Messi.
Ronaldo and Messi. Obviously, he'll have to sustain that over a couple of years.
So I'm going to agree with you for Hazard. I'm assuming that you're going to go...
I'm going to go Diego, but I'm going to caveat that with if his hamstrings go, Falcao will step up and bang the goals in.
I hope you're right.
I heard it here first.
I hope you're right.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Do us a favour, comment below. Let us know exactly what you think about this. And if you haven't subscribed, do it right now. Go on, you champions!
I think it'll be a tall order. I don't think it'd be very easy. You know, I'm not going to go with the traditional gung-ho, we're definitely going to win. I think if we do